Good evening. My name is Tom. Welcome to Beaver Creek Deer Camp. Yes, we're getting ready for deer season. We're still in trout fishing season, but boy, oh boy, what a messed up schedule we got this year. I've been in here for a week. I finally got my trails all finished. I've been putting in wheeler trails, four-wheeler trails, all the way across the property, out to the main snowmobile trail, in preparation for two of the pipe staging tree stands that will be coming in next trip. So, you guys like that kind of stuff? This piece of property is coming together. It's the end of the week. It's Saturday. It's not that late in the afternoon. It's what, 2:30, 2:45. But boy, what a long week. I got the six-wheeler stuck today up on top of 3 logs. I was just figuring I would get over them. I'm dragging a big tractor tire behind me. So by running over stuff with that tractor tire, then I can go back and see where it is, what it is. Sometimes the tractor tire will pull it out and kick it up, and just makes it a little easier. But I knew when I was going uphill on that one and going back down, I was going to be just like a teeter-totter. And it was in one of them spots where there was no trees. The closest tree in front of me was at least 50 feet. And I was hoping, I've never had to stretch a cable out that far to reach a tree, because this is the state of Maine, there's trees everywhere. But I'm in a chopping, so all the big trees was gone. There was one little one about 2 inches across, but I had enough cable anyways, makes long story short, had enough cable to reach out and grab a tree. It was 50, 60 feet. But got the campfire going in the back of me. I'm going to have steak dinner tonight. I've been holding on to that steak this week down in the bottom of the cooler. So that was the treat at the end of the week. But what a beautiful trail. I've got the trail goes that way. Cabin's behind me. I'm moving this cabin that way. Approximately 1,000 feet. So that trail had to be better and wider. So I finally got that finished the beginning of the week. And I go into like a Y. And then I went straight across the property that way. Past where I sat in the tree stand last year. So the new trail runs right by it. So bringing in that tree stand is going to be pretty easy. It's not that long of a haul at all. That one, I gotta go completely across the property. So that one's gonna be a little bit tougher to get in, but not too bad. Let's see what else. That's next on the thing here. Oh, and I have decided that I'm gonna change where I'm gonna put in my bear stand. I have approximately about, I would say a half a mile that way. And I cut my trail halfway across that yesterday, or 2 days ago. So I think what I'm going to do is continue on out across that clearing over to the wood line, and I think that's where I'm going to put the bear bait and the bear trap and the bear stand for a couple of reasons. It's the furthest from my cabin, so bears like it private. So that way, if I put it way over there, it won't affect anything I'm doing over here. As far as like moving that cabin, getting ready for deer season, all of that. Even baiting the bears around where I deer hunt. They won't be bothering each other because so much distance in between. Some people think that baiting bear will keep deer from coming in the area. I don't know yet. I mean, I'm still studying. I'm still learning. You know, knowledge is king. I don't, you know, I've deer hunted out of the, and bear hunted out of the exact same stand. So, you know, our bear season up here is September, and then we don't start hunting deer until November. So that's a couple of months in between. September, also at least a month in between. If you can get your bear the 1st of September, which normally that's when I like to get them and get done with it, so you can get on with deer season. But being way over there, I know there's a stream over there, so I haven't made it yet. I might have to build a bridge, but you know what's another couple days worth of work when you're working this hard in here. So, but I think that now that this trail is in, the deer will start using it instant. I mean, I got deer tracks everywhere, but every time I put a trail in, they just start using it. So I brought in 2 fresh trail cameras with me this week, fresh batteries, fresh cards, everything. So I'm going to place 2 of them cameras on this new trail. Just see, I'm going to put one on the Y down here, because I know I got a run that comes straight up from Beaver Creek, right up through past the cabin here, and they also go down in front of the cabin here and out the trail that I made last year for hauling in the parts and pieces for this cabin. So I'm going to place a camera right there in the Y so I can catch both trails that I just put in. And then this is a pretty nice straight trail, so I'm going to go that way and drop a camera over there close to the other tree stand, just to see how soon it takes them deer to start using my new trail. I don't think it'll take any time at all. Not in experience gone by. You know, I'd like to have $1 for every mile of trail I've cut in my lifetime. Actually, I was thinking that today while I was out there putting the finishing touches on this trail. Miles and miles and miles of trail. I have 4 miles of trail up at the Rustic log cabin that I put in over the last 12 years that I maintain. So, and here's probably not going to be much different. My game plan here is to continue this trail right over. The wood line is that way, quite a ways. And then we got Beaver Creek, that is my southwest border here on this piece of land. So my idea, and I hate it when I get ideas because then it gives me something to work on, but my idea is to continue this trail in a great big circle so that it'll circle the entire property and come right back to where the cabin is going, where I'm moving the cabin to. And if I do that, even as it stands right now, I've got quite a line that I could use for a trap line this fall for my grandson. He's only, 7 years old, and all he talks about is trapping. So I'm going to, that'll be a perfect trap line for him, as well as, you know, there's hundreds of acres around here, and you know, I still haven't talked. I've talked to one landowner to my left. I've got permission from him. And then there's a big landowner up in back of me. I've still got to talk to him to get permission to run a trap line across his property. But I don't really see that there'll be an issue. And then the rest of the land around here is timberland. So I still, according to state law, I still got to get permission for all that too. So, but that, I mean, my thought is to pull the animals in and not necessarily get permission for everything that's around here. My thought is to pull the animals into what I do own and what I do have permission on, and then trap that and see what happens. But it's mainly for the boys. I want them boys to get out here and experience that as well. So. But this video is not really about anything at all, except for sitting around the campfire here. I put it behind me so that you guys could see the four-wheeler and the cabin behind me and the wood smoke and all that. and it wouldn't be in front of us. Sometimes the smoke gets between us. But anyways, so that's the grand plan. Anyways, there's so much to do in here that it's just a wonderland. If you like this kind of stuff. It's so quiet. You know, I drive in as far as I can with the pickup, and then I unload the six-wheeler, and then drive in another mile to get in here, and then whatever it takes to get me down into the actual center of this swamp. But now that I've got a road cut across it for that six-wheeler, it's not all the way across yet, but it will be. Now I have access to the entire piece of property that I have here with that road, which opens up. You see, I don't know if you can see, you can't. Well, I did take a little video. I'll show you. Every trip I came back here, today, yesterday, I brought back a load of wood on the back of that six-wheeler. If I come to a tree that was good and needed to come down, then that tree ended up, the good parts of it anyways, ended up in the back of the six-wheeler and hauled back here for my campfire. Alrighty, I'm gonna get on with supper here, and then I'm gonna have some more coffee. I need to perk some coffee tonight. We had a cold front come through today. Thunder shower yesterday, about 2:30, 3 o'clock. But then last night the temperature just fell out of the bottom of the thermometer. And right now it's only about 58 degrees, something like that. So that's nice. It was really nice working today. Yesterday, day before yesterday was grueling. Day before yesterday, what that would have been, it would have been Thursday. You guys down south, you'll think that this wasn't hot, but it was hot for me. It was about 85 degrees, no wind. It really wasn't humid, but it was pretty hot for cutting wood. I could just hear you guys that follow me from Florida and places like that talking about 85 degrees and hot. Well, you got to remember, us Mainers, we got thick blood. It's like antifreeze. So, come summertime, that's not a good place to be. But, you know, every once in a while I like to do a shout out video, and I don't do it very much, but every once in a while, because I want to know that a channel's worth watching before I send you guys chasing down another channel. So if you hear me say, hey, go check this channel out, that's my idea of probably a pretty good channel. But Homestead Edmund, that's a good one. I always mess up the names too, because I'm just sitting here off the top of my head, you know. Homestead Edmund. And if I mess it up, I'll fix it here in the video when I'm doing the editing back at home. But his channel is about Maine, the same thing. Everything from boiling sap to gardening, homesteading, everything to do with homesteading. He has some He has some good cooking stuff on there. Good ideas, great ideas, well worth checking out. And he's a young channel. You know, it's awful hard to get these channels off the ground. And I'm not saying I've made it, because I haven't. You know, I am not a big YouTuber in YouTube's eyes, trust me. I have a lot of videos, and I really like the subscriber count. It's growing. That's great. Patreon is growing. That's great. That all helps me keep this stuff coming. So that's great. But there's nothing easy about it. So if you get a chance to help out some of these guys by watching their videos, it means a lot. Comments mean a lot. It kind of like putting fuel in the fuel tank. It helps you to keep going when you feel like slowing down, because it is a lot of work. But check him out. I know I got some more off the top of my head, but I can't come up with them right now to save my neck. I'm tired. Been a long week. I want to talk about my Patreon channel here. If you're interested in helping to support this channel and everything that I am trying to share with the outside world, outside of the great state of Maine, come check us out over on the Patreon channel. I have really started to get a lot of videos over there. A lot of the behind the scenes stuff is on my Patreon channel. Just different things that I talk about that's going on behind the scenes. Different topics that I cover and all of that. And there's some stuff there that is free to the public. And it's not that costly to be a Patreon member. $5 a month, up to, you can have whatever you want. Most people sign up for $5 a month. I do have some that go a little higher than that, so that is great. I really appreciate the Patreon help from the Patreon people, because especially now with the cost of fuel and all of that, some of this stuff, it's nice to have the extra help over there, just to help keep all this stuff going, because it takes a lot of time. I produce 3 videos a week. I try to do a good job at it. So come check me out over on the Patreon if you have a feeling or you have a calling to help support this channel. And thank you very much. The link is right above my head. So I look forward to seeing you over on the Patreon channel. All I'm thinking about now is fresh pot of coffee, getting those game cameras in, and enjoying the cool weather here tonight around this campfire. This is the splurge night. I've been working in here for a week, cutting trails. So I saved this steak in the bottom of the cooler. Normally I wouldn't eat a steak like that. Normally I'd take steak like that, cut it up into tips, and then make a steak pie. But I felt that I earned a pretty good steak dinner this week. That is so good. I know you guys can't taste it and you can't smell it, but if you could. If you could. Nothing I like better than a cool night around a campfire. And there are no bugs at all whatsoever. We got to deal with the ticks, but there's no mosquitoes. And there hasn't been all week. No mosquitoes, no black flies. This cool tonight will help, even if there are a few, but there hasn't been any mosquitoes at all. And the woods are quiet. So usually, well, come later on in the summer, there'll be a lot more bird noise in here. But maybe they're all sitting on nests, who knows? Got some kind of a bird or frog that makes a lot of noise here at night. I haven't figured out what it is yet. But that thing sits out there and squawks all night long. Every time I step out of the cabin, you can hear it. But, yeah, what a day. So you guys have a great day, and I will see you next week.